Let's put this in perspective. Mark Martin of Martin Consulting is joining us to discuss what's going on as far as our congestion woes are concerned and the pain that passengers are facing. Martin, great to have you with us this evening. How do you think the authorities have handled the congestion issues at the Delhi airport so far? Because these passenger woes seem to continue, don't they?
Good evening, Vikram, and pleasure to be with you this evening on ET Now. We have to understand, Vikram, the key issue here is that the whole intent of having private operators was to take our travel experience and our airport experience to a world-class and world level. Now, clearly, over the last 3 years, that's not happened. And it's the airport operator solely responsible for every single element of managing, running, and overseeing the airport operations. And that includes the processes. From the time you close your car door till the time you board your aircraft, every step is recorded and kept as part of a quality index. This is there in the OMDA, Operational Management Development Agreement, the state policy agreement that private operators such as DIAL GMR entered with the government of India. Now, I'm sure you must have been made aware of this. In the parliament, a note has been brought by Ministry of External Affairs that GMR and airport operators have not paid CISF close to 5,000 crores. Now, it is the responsibility of airport operators to pay CISF. The reason, Vikram, we have these queues is because from the 20 security checkposts, we're only running 5 because there's less people, there's less security staff. Why is there less security staff? Because CISF has not been paid. Why haven't they been paid? Well, somebody needs to crack the whip and ask and put GMR DIAL on the mat, because guess what? As traveling passengers, as you and I, we pay a passenger service fee, right? We pay a user development fee. Delhi, for GMR, in the case of GMR, Hyderabad and Delhi alone, it's about 6,000 crores a year. That's 450 rupees multiplied by the 55 million and the 1,000 odd rupees for an international traveler multiplied the total number of passengers. So the responsibility, the onus, the buck stops with the airport operator, and it's not the airlines. The airlines are a user of an airport. In like Europe and the US, as you know, Vikram, each city has at least 3-4 airports. So airlines can fly to whichever airport they want. In India, in Delhi, we just have one. And I think that law should change, because airports and airlines should be able to choose the right airport for providing the traveler the right convenience. So clearly,
what is the reason? Do tell us from your understanding of the current situation, why do you think the buck is being passed on to the airlines? What's the reason for this?
You know, this is purely, as I was saying before, this is purely, Vikram, the responsibility of DIAL to maintain that high level of quality index. The reason why airport operators such as DIAL is passing it off, because, you know, he hasn't paid CISF. And it is his responsibility to pay for CISF, the other security services, perimeter intrusion detection.
Yes.
He collects the money and he pays it. So this is got to do with the default. And I think perfect timing. External Affairs Ministry came up with the total outstanding liabilities for government security and military agencies.
Yes.
And guess what? 5,000 crores shows up there as outstanding payments to CISF.
I get that point,
airports.
but surely this goes beyond that. From what we are understanding, passengers continue to experience these long waiting hours. Just a moment.
Yes.
And this we are seeing at the country's largest airport, the busiest airport.
Vikram,
it has happened.
yes,
We've seen pictures getting shared on social media, and it's all there. We've experienced it ourselves. Now, the Parliamentary Committee has asked these officials to appear before it on the 15th of December. What, according to you, can be accomplished by this Parliamentary Committee? Do you think that this is more rhetoric, more optics than actual being able to do something? That's my simple question to you.
You know, the Parliamentary Committee is really not going to heed much of results, because again, it's going to be the airport operator would try and pass the blame on the airline, and it's going to be vice versa without even coming up to a solution. The solution, Vikram, is that Delhi should have had a Terminal 4 as what GMR proposed in its master plan. So airport development in Delhi hasn't really shaped up to what was committed by DIAL. The second is money that goes to DIAL should have been paid so that passengers don't suffer. The third is airports should have the option to choose an airport it flies to and not be locked and shackled to one airport. Coming 3 hours before, and some of us have to leave at least 2 hours to be there at 3 hours, to take a flight which is 1 hour, that's 7 hours gone to take a 1 hour flight. It is ridiculous that we actually have, in 2022, the objective is to have world-class airports, and we don't. And all that we've seen from GMR today has not even been a single statement, except they've been responding with absolutely very strange directives from the morning, as if yesterday they said they were not responsible, then they said it's the airports who are supposed to do it, and then they made a statement that as far as GMR is concerned, we're only here to develop the facility and the infrastructure. I mean, you're supposed to manage the airport. You manage the OCC as DIAL GMR. So it is DIAL GMR.
But Mark, I need to ask you this. I'm just wondering, with all the woes that we are currently facing, is it time to explore more economical, more time-saving modes of transport? Because look at this. Our team has put this together. From Delhi to the airport, by train could take about 12 hours compared to 8 hours by air. But even with a first-class ticket, which gets you a lot of luxury and comfort and definitely no long queues, you could do it for a little more than half the cost of air travel. Is it time to explore other modes? Are we kind of going after air travel in a way that we really don't need to right now?
Vikram, your finding is absolutely shocking, and you're absolutely spot on. It is coming to that point where rail becomes a perspective. But I'm gonna take it up a notch. If DIAL GMR cannot run a professionally managed airport and provide decent services to the Indian traveler, then they need to pack up, ship up, and shift out.
Yes.
Maybe the government should consider giving it to Adani's, because there are other operators in the country. And if that be the case, then the government should take that step by handing over Delhi Airport to a better, improved, competent airport operator, whether it's AI, whether it's
a more competent airport operator is your stance. That point is well taken, Mark Martin. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks,
with your perspective on this. It is really a pleasure getting this point of view as far as developments go. Meanwhile, passenger woes continue to weigh in, and of course we are looking at those long queues with such disdain, because obviously there are many other modes of transport that can be bought into, and we're looking at the possibilities now much more than we were in the recent past, especially now with holiday season reaching its peak. Meanwhile, let's talk about Paytm. The board has